What's up? It's your boy D. It's Saturday Morning Traffic. I'm here with my man Tony, and today we're gonna talk about the COVID-19 playoffs, is what I like to call it. Because
Right.
COVID-19 and it's the playoffs. Self-explanatory. And then we're gonna discuss a few heavier topics. Drew Brees' comments on the whole Black Lives Matter and the protesting going on,
hmm
and a few other things. How I feel about it, how he feels about it, this, that, and the third. So yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah, like D said, we're just gonna give you our opinions and our voices and about serious topics. But first, we're gonna get to this NBA because man, we've been waiting a long time for that.
A
So
long time.
all right, let's get into it. All right, like I said, here are the teams. This is a 22 play-in tournament here. Each team will play 8 games. As you see on the West, you got the Lakers, Clippers, Nuggets, the Jazz, Thunder, Rockets, Mavericks, Grizzlies. And then the other teams in the West are fighting for the 8th spot, where it will be the Blazers, Pelicans, Kings, Spurs, and Suns. And then as you see in the East, of course, the Milwaukee Bucks, right? Then the Raptors, Celtics, Heat, Pacers, 76ers, Nets, and Magic. And then the Wizards, who I believe are like 5.5 games out of that 8th spot, which they're, I think with eight games, might be able to get in. But what are your thoughts on the 22 team for the NBA coming back? What are your thoughts, D?
First and foremost, I'm super excited the fact that the NBA is coming back, and I feel
Mm-hmm.
like this year, with everything that's going on, I just feel like this upcoming playoffs that we're about to watch, we're about to witness, is going to be a lot of greatness. Not just for, because not just for the basketball aspect, but the simple fact that just like basketball stopped. This is almost like a lockout season, not by
Right.
choice, but by force. You know what I'm saying? So everybody knows the Lakers are the number one favorites. It's kind of like between the Lakers and the Clippers. Lakers, Clippers. You got Bron and Kawhi. Like those are really the two names
Right.
that you hear the most. But I mean, as far as like teams that are really sleepers, I feel like the Portland Trailblazers, they could edge up there and get the Western Conference popping. I'm really looking at the Rockets, like they could really, trump the Clippers or the Lakers. I
Yeah.
see the Denver Nuggets. They're a young, hungry team. The Utah Jazz, they still missing a few pieces. Sacramento, nobody's talking about those guys, man. Their phone's been off the hook for years. The San Antonio Spurs, even with Popovich, no matter what players he's had, I feel like he always has the ability to get a championship. He's such a
Yeah.
great coach. The Phoenix Suns, I don't know what's going on with those guys, man. I just think the mechanics and the way Devin Booker is just balling out and not making anything from it, it doesn't serve a purpose. Scoring 70-point games and you're
Jeez, yeah.
barely just skimming to the playoffs. That doesn't really suffice to me as far as how your game equals to your wins. It just doesn't make any, And the New Orleans Pelicans, they're a young team, and I think they're a team that you really should be watching out for in the next 2 to 3 years.
For sure.
When Zion hits his prime and Zoe does his thing, Lonzo Ball does his thing, and so on and so forth.
Brandon
Not
Ingram.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brandon Ingram. I'm not thinking too much about the Grizzlies. Those guys can take a nap. The Dallas Mavericks, cool.
They're
We have this
intriguing.
conversation all the time. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're nice. It's like that pretty girl you see at the mall. She's cute, but when you talk to her, you realize she's just
They're
head
a
full of
couple
air.
they're a couple pieces away for sure. Like for
Yeah,
me,
for sure.
Lakers, Clippers, of course, right? Nuggets, But like you said, the Blazers, they're getting Jurkic back. They're getting Zach Collins back, 2 big bodies with Whiteside, who's a shot blocker. So having that size, that would be a good matchup in the first round against the Lakers. I think I think the Lakers obviously are going to win that in 5, but I think each game will be pretty decent, especially when you have CJ and Dame. Dame time. So they got scorers. The Rockets. I think the Rockets. Let's see. Let's look. Yeah, the Rockets definitely have the best backcourt of all these teams. The only thing with them, man, is they don't have size, man. 6'7" center? Come on, man. Right? people be sleeping on the Raptors, bro. Siakam, nasty, right? Kyle Lowry, I'm not a fan. He's just like that one short guy who tries to get into the game, but then he can't really play that good. That's how he reminds me of, because he's always flopping. He's flopping like a fish. Remember the All-Star game? He flopped like 7 times. He got some calls, but like, bro, like, you're still
Some things are
moving.
better left unsaid, but yes, I definitely know what you're talking about.
The overrated teams, I think, that are in there, you got to talk about the 76ers. That whole situation is horrible. Like, the talent they have on that team, they should be a top 3 seed. You get what I'm saying, though, right?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying 100%. Go ahead, proceed.
Yeah, no, Pacers are a team, they're, like I said, same, 1 person away, 2 people away. Celtics and the Heat are teams to watch out for. If I think they can make some runs with Jimmy buckets, and then with the Celtics, you have 3-4 players on that team that can get their own bucket without needing, let's say, a screen. They can get you off dribble, other good stuff. But yeah. At the end of the day, it depends on the seeding. I just can't see anybody but the Lake Show, right? The Lakers really taking it home. But the Bucks are no joke either, I mean, they could do things. Kings, I live in the Bay. Sorry, Kings, you shouldn't be here. The Sun shouldn't be here. Spurs, you guys just need to rebuild, and that's what they're doing. Shout out to the Spurs, though. I think it's Dejounte Murray, that point guard for them. He's a beast, dude.
Like I said, Popovich.
Yeah. He's to me, he's a more talented Rajon Rondo. Like, when it comes to his defense and his playmaking ability, but he could shoot, he could get, man, he's nice. Go ahead, man.
First of all, let's not ever disrespect Rondo, because everybody knows playoff Rondo is like Chris Paul on a sensu bean. Let's never ever do that. Whatever his name is, Murray. Hold on. Whatever his name is, Murray, he's fantastic. He's fire. He's dope. But don't ever disrespect playoff Rondo.
You know why I say
Rondo
that, right?
Lakers, undefeated, bro.
Celtics, Lakers, right?
Hey, that's fine. That's fine. You can throw some salt in my game if you want to. I'm just letting you know we got Pepper on deck. But as far as like the Eastern Conference, like the Milwaukee Bucks are dope. I could definitely see them winning it, even though they're like Giannis doesn't have that what is it, like how Goku got Vegeta, Shaq had Kobe, LeBron had Kyrie. Like, he doesn't have that tag team partner, and I'm not saying he needs that to win a championship, but it would be nice to see Giannis paired with somebody that's just as elite as he is.
Don't get me started on Middleton either.
Yeah, but the Toronto Raptors, they always have a fighting chance. Just based on last year, Pascal Siakam is kind of filling in that spot that Kawhi left. He's stepping up to the plate. They got Chris Bouchard. They got a lot of young players. Their team is always growing.
Right.
Boston Celtics, their team is what? I think it's like second or third youngest in the NBA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something like that.
And Jason Tatum is really starting to shine bright. They got Jaylen Brown. They got Gordon Hayward. Like, the team is just looking ready and hungry.
You got Kemba.
Thank you. They a way better point guard than Kyrie, and that's
Step back killer.
Y'all can leave comments. Y'all can give y'all my phone number. We can argue that all day. The Miami Heat, they're nice. Jimmy buckets. Tyler Hero.
They got shooters.
They got the one guy that I don't know how to pronounce his last name, so I'm not gonna do it. I don't want to disrespect him because I know how that feels. But
Bam.
They got
you talking about Bam?
Yeah, I'm gonna just say Bam Bam. They got Bam Bam.
Indiana
Pacers, not really thinking about those guys. Philadelphia 76ers. The issue with them is great players, bad GM, bad coaching.
Yes.
And that's really the best way to sum up the Philadelphia 76ers. The Brooklyn Nets, the reason why they're on the list is because of Kyrie. Kyrie's injured. KD's not there. DeAndre Jordan is not there. Spencer Dinwiddie, he deserves the MVP in my personal opinion, because what that man has been doing on that team with the little bit that he does have is beyond extraordinary. Orlando Magic, take a nap, not thinking about you guys. Washington Wizards, call me when John Wall's back and Bradley Beal and him are a team again. That's how I feel about the Eastern Conference.
I think the Nets, like you talk about Dinwiddie, beasting. But you also have LeVert, who's nice too. LeVert's nice too. I mean, remember he came off the bench a game this year and dropped 50? I was like, what? Off the bench?
He shot pretty good he shot pretty good from 3 too.
Yeah. Like, all right, now let's transition to after the 8 games. Who do you think is the final 16 teams?
Oh, they're doing it like an NCAA bracket kind of.
So basically, yeah. So after 8 games, because like you look at Memphis, Portland, Pelicans, Kings, and I think Spurs are all in the Suns. I think they're all within 2.5 or 3 games of each other.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then Washington's 5.5. I think in the East it'll stay 1 through 8. Nothing will change.
Mm-hmm.
But in the West, that's a different story. So, who do you think after 8 games will get in?
Okay. Well, I'm gonna do this real quick since we're doing it. I'm gonna start from top to bottom.
Yeah.
Well, no, bottom from top.
1 through 16 or what?
No, I'm gonna do the Western Conference first, then I'm gonna do the Eastern Conference. So
cool.
the Western Conference, San Antonio Spurs versus the Phoenix Suns, Spurs. New Orleans versus the Sacramento Kings, New Orleans. Trailblazers, Grizzlies, Trailblazers. Dallas Mavericks, Houston Rockets, Houston Rockets. OKC, Utah, Utah. Nuggets, Clippers, Clippers. Clippers, LA, LA. Western Conference. Eastern Conference. Bucks, Raptors, Bucks. Celtics, Heat, Celtics. Indiana Pacers, 76ers, Pacers.
Yeah,
Brooklyn
that's a tough
Nets,
one.
Orlando
That's
Magic,
a tough one.
Brooklyn, because they're both trash. Brooklyn Nets, Orlando Magic, Brooklyn Nets. Washington Wizards, they're not in the game because they're still 5 games behind. But if they were to be there, I would definitely pick them over the Orlando Magic.
Yeah. Like for me, I think
That's
it's I think it'll be the Lakers, Clippers, Nuggets, Jazz, Thunder, Rockets, Mavs, and Blazers. And then Bucks, Raptors, Celtics, Heat, Pacers, 76ers, Nets, and then Magic. But they're not going by that. They're doing the top 16 teams. So I think that's what it'll be. I think Portland will squeeze in there, getting everybody healthy, some big bodies back. I think they'll be able. The Blazers, I think, take Pelicans. Blazers will take the Kings, Spurs, or the Suns. And I think Memphis is just – they're a couple of years away, man, and a couple pieces away too. And I think Portland getting healthy will take advantage of that, of getting in there. So, but at the end of the day, I think it's going to be a LA versus LA finals, and I'm going to go with the Lakers. More of they both have experience, especially with Doc Rivers being the coach. I just think it's so hard to beat a team that has 2 top 5 players in the league. That's what it comes down to. And both LeBron and Anthony Davis are one of the most efficient players in the league, where Kawhi is efficient. Just Paul George is not as consistent and efficient. I'm sure you would agree with that. But the most intriguing team in this to me is the Rockets, because they're fast-paced with Russ, Brody, right, and the Beard, James Harden. So, I mean, on a night basis, they can both average 40.
I think the
defense, though, is the bad part. Yeah.
Yeah, 100% as far as the defense is concerned with the Houston Rockets. I think with LA, when they say LA versus the Clippers, it's Kawhi, Paul George. It's like the Wu-Tang Clan almost. Like you got RZA, and you got Raekwon, then you got Jizza, Capadonna, Ghostface Killer, Old Dirty Bastard. You got all the not small people. Don't get me wrong; they all play their important roles. But that's kind of how I look at the LA Clippers. Like it's the Wu-Tang Clan against Tupac and Biggie.
Here's the thing:
like who you gonna pick? Like you like both, but who are you really gonna pick? So that's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna pick the Lakers, but I kind of feel bad not picking the Clippers either because they hold just as much weight in the argument. You see what I'm saying? It's heavily debatable. But I'm going to go with the Lakers at the end of the day.
Yeah, like the X factor to me in the Lakers and Clippers, it's not LeBron James. It's Anthony Davis because they have nobody who can guard him. The Clippers don't have big men like that. That's multi-skilled and could do that. They got Zubac, okay? That's like Shaq says, barbecue chicken time, right? That's what it would be. I don't see anybody.
It's not.
Like
It's not about guarding Anthony Davis. It's not about. It's not. You have to understand when you have a player on a team that nobody can guard. It's not about guarding him. It's about getting on his nerves. You got to get into the head because you got to think. Muggsy. Thank you. Look at Muggsy Bogues, tiniest guy in the NBA.
He's a G. He's the OG.
Look at Spud Webb, 5'6". He was in a dunk contest, correct?
Nate Robinson won it 3 times, but he shouldn't have won it the other 2 times. But that's all I'm saying. That's a different day.
I've met Nate Robinson personally.
Because you're in Seattle, huh?
Yeah. No, that's another conversation for another day. But yeah, I know I've met Nate Robinson personally on more than one occasion. But
that's just a random fact.
It's super random fact. We can make a whole nother video about that. But yeah, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, you don't really have to. You definitely want somebody who can guard Nate Robinson because you're either going to have to take a star player out of his initial position and make him guard Anthony Davis, or have someone like Patrick Beverly who's just going to annoy you for 4 quarters.
Let me ask you this:
that's what's really going to be the defining measure as far as like guarding Anthony Davis or protecting the rim against Anthony Davis.
Do you think that this will happen first? If the 76ers don't get out of the first round, do you blow that up?
It should have been blown up before they even got to the playoffs. It should have been blown up once we realized Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid don't get along. They don't play well. It should have been blown up.
All right,
Excuse me. It should have been blown up.
All right, you're running the 76ers now, right? Who do you keep and who do you trade? Do you keep Ben Simmons?
I'm sending Ben Simmons to the Boston Celtics. I'm sending Joel Embiid to the Miami Heat where he wants to go, and then I'm going to rebuild from there. Whatever pieces I get from that trade, I'll rebuild from there.
Okay, nice.
That simple. There's no point of keeping the Philadelphia 76ers together if the team does not work. You do not need a star player in order to win a championship. And the Detroit Pistons in 2004 are living proof of that. They did not have one single all-star, and they won a championship. It might have been one, but they did it. So that lets you know it's possible. And the reason why the Philadelphia 76ers are failing is because they have terrible GM, they have terrible front office approach to the game, and they have a terrible coach.
I think if Portland doesn't do anything this year, I still say you're a year away from trying to blow it up because they did go to the conference finals last year when healthy. Actually, they didn't even have Nurkic last year, and he's actually back this year, so you'll never know. But what about them? Because that's an interesting situation because you got one of the best backcourts. I think they're before, obviously, Russell Westbrook got to Houston, I thought they were the second best backcourt in the league because, when the Warriors, you have Steph and Clay, right? So they're up there, though. They're up there. If it doesn't work out in the next 2 years, do you think they should blow that up?
I don't necessarily think they're going to – I don't think it's going to get blown up. I think it's going to be blown up. I think it's going to be blown up, but I think it's going to be done forcibly. Because me personally, looking at how Damian Lillard approaches being on the Portland Trailblazers, he shows a lot of Russell Westbrook to me. He plays better. He does a lot. He does certain things better, but at the same time, you're going to end up being traded versus wanting to leave.
I don't know. He signed that extension, bro.
So did Russell Westbrook. He signed a 5-year extension for how long? And then ended up on the Houston Rockets. It's not about signing the extension. It's about the front office. If they say, "Hey, we feel like we could be way better without you," you don't have to say so.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And Damian Lillard even said it himself. He's like, when players got to go to another team, sometimes it's not your choice. At the end of the day, it's a business. And if he understands that better than anybody, then he should know. Hey, Portland Trailblazers, we don't want you no more. We're gonna trade Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball. and a second round 2022 draft pick for Damian Lillard. Boom. Now Damian Lillard's on the New Orleans Pelicans, and all these other players are on this team.
Yeah.
So now it's Zion Wilson, such and such, such and such and such and such on this. That comes with the game. So he's already has that mindset. He's already has it in his head that he knows it's a business. So if he was to get traded, I feel like he would accept it. He would be hurt, but he'd accept it.
Yeah, he would understand. That's for sure. And everything we can understand or know is that I'm just glad the NBA is back. Everybody can understand that too.
That's all that matters, Captain. That's all that matters. So, now we're going to talk about something that's very near and dear to my heart, because I'm an African-American man living in America with 3 Ks, not 1 C. And first and foremost, we're going to talk about Drew Brees' most recent comments as far as, like, the kneeling goes in the NFL and whatnot, and what he said and how I personally feel about it and how Tony feels about it. And then everything else that's going on in America. So, first and foremost, I want to say rest in peace to George Floyd. Send my condolences out to his family.
For sure.
And to anybody else that's lost their life to, police brutality, Tamir Rice, Trayvon Martin, Breonna Taylor, Atiana, a lot of folks, bro. Orlando Castile,
yeah, pray for him.
It's heartbreaking, man, to know that I'm spending 26 years of my life. God forbid I don't get taken out tomorrow, knock on wood. I deal with this every day on a regular basis. I go to the store, I get asked, do I need help? I just walked in here. How do you know I don't already know what I want? Things like that. I get pulled over. I have to put my hands out the window. You know what I'm saying? I have to put my wallet in the cup holder. You know what I'm saying? So when they ask me for my wallet, hey, you can grab it. Shit like that. Like, that's the things I have to deal with on a daily basis. I have to work hard to get twice of what everybody else gets. You know what I'm saying? When I'm around my white friends, I have to watch them try to act blacker for whatever reason because they feel like that's going to make me more comfortable. When I get into a lift, they automatically play rap music, assuming I don't like country or any other genre of music. It's things like that. People automatically assume I like fried chicken and shit like that. But aside from that, with Drew Brees' comments, I felt like, I don't necessarily feel like he should be like, put on the cross and, nailed to a cross for what he said. I just look at it like, you're rich, man. Why should you be surprised that he said something like that? That's a lot of people in this country. You know what I'm saying? They say a lot of things without knowing what the fuck they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe he does know what he's talking about. But the fact that you have to be told what you said is wrong lets me know that you're out of touch with the people. You know what I'm saying? You didn't grow up where we grew up. And Drew Brees is from Texas, right?
I'm not sure. Maybe, yeah.
I'm not 100% sure where he's from, but I know.
I know he went to Purdue University, so that's all I know.
I've come across a lot of white people who are either oblivious and have a genuine concern as to why we feel the way we do about certain topics, such as what's going on right now in America. Then you got white people who know what's going on, know they have privilege, and choose to act oblivious and do the things that make the situation worse. And you got white people who know all 3 of these and then continue to be racist and continue to treat people like shit because they feel like their race is endangered or for whatever reason. That's how they want to act. You know what I'm saying? It's unjustified. There's no reason for you to act like that. If we're supposed to be one race, all this, all that, then why do we get the shitty end of the stick? Why do I have to sit up here and watch a video of a man getting a knee on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds? Why do I have to watch that? Why does a 12-year-old playing with a BB gun get shot on site when Dylan Roof can go kill 9 people in a place of worship and then get arrested? And then on the way getting arrested, they take this man to Burger King. Why does that get to happen?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Systemic racism. Why does that have to happen? Things like redlining. Certain neighborhoods don't get bank loans and certain neighborhoods do. It's unfair. So don't sit up here and tell me I'm an American and this is equality and we all get treated the same when you set up things to where I don't get to win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Y'all enslaved my people for 400 years. We've been free for 60 to 80. And in that 60 to 80 that we've been free, we've dealt with police brutality. We've dealt with racism. We've dealt with our resumes not getting looked at, getting overlooked. You know what I'm saying? We deal with not being able to get bank loans. We deal with, being in fucked up neighborhoods, all kind of shit that you place in there. So if we complain about it, it looks like we're crazy. No, you set it up this way. This is the way y'all set it up. And another thing I want to touch on is I feel like a lot of people who are saying, "Oh, Black Lives," why are you saying it now? If you're rich or you're an employer, not an employee, and you're saying Black Lives Matter, hire more Black people, man. Because there's plenty of Black folks that can do the job. There's plenty of Black folks that want to work. You know what I'm saying? If you want to fill a company, put some more color, in your company. You feel what I'm saying? Don't just do it because you got to do a minority report. Do it because it's right, man. And that's all I got to say about it.
Well, let's definitely start getting into Drew Brees' comments. Yeah, so those Drew Brees comments, it was really ridiculous that he's so out of touch with everything going on. When think about it, he's an NFL player, right? He's been playing with other races for his whole life. So how are you so out of touch with, how he gets treated compared to his contemporaries, right? So I just don't understand how he's such out of touch of it. Like, you're getting paid, like you were saying, D, millions and millions and millions. That's just on the field. Once he's getting off the field, right? And I believe that he only apologized because of the backlash that he got. I don't even really think he's sorry for that. I still believe he believes of what he said. And I think it's just ridiculous, and it's annoying to hear that his comments, what he said. What do you think, man?
Look, I'm gonna say it real plain and simple. I ain't gonna make this real long. I'm gonna make it short and sweet. Fuck Drew Brees and fuck the New Orleans Saints as a staff, as a record label, as a collective. You didn't need to say that, bro. There was no need for you to say that. You could have kept your motherfucking mouth shut. Because a lot what I grew up, what my granddad told me, he said, racists don't wear pointy hoods no more. They're still protesting, they still riot, but they're doctors, they're lawyers, they're school teachers, they're personal trainers, they're chefs, they're cooks, they're employers, they're employees. Racist folks wear a lot of different masks, bro, and they're not just white too. There's racists are like like a crayon box. They come in all different shapes, sizes, and colors. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But to directly talk about Drew Brees, like I said, there was no need for you to say that, because there's plenty of Black people that fought, that were a part of the armed forces, that as soon as they left that war, they came right back home to segregation. Why would you fight for a country that don't give a fuck about you? That says a lot about them Black folks that was fighting for that country, that they knew they was going to come back and not get shit for it. That says a lot. That says a lot. You want to strive and you want to push to fight for a country that don't care about you.
Yeah.
So what you saying, what the fuck you just said, this is me directly talking to Mr. Brees. This is me. For you saying what you said, fuck you, bro, because there was no need for you to say that, dog. And I know you don't feel sorry about it. It's just like when you do a crime. You only apologize because your ass got caught.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody told you to say that, bro. That poor ass, simple ass apology, man. I ain't saying you should necessarily be victimized or demonized for it, but no, you get to feel the wrath of what the fuck you said. And come from me personally, fuck you.
To be honest, it's like if he was truly sorry, he would be down there protesting with them.
Nah, man. At that point, it's cloud chasing, bro. You already said what you said. You already said what you said. If you go out there and protest, that's like me. That's like me. That's like me bullying somebody for 16 years, and then when I finally go to jail for it, I'm like, oh man, let me apologize. No, I knew this shit was wrong. I was doing it. Keep that same energy. If you're gonna be racist, bro, be racist on 100, bro. Let us know your real feelings.
Right. Like you said, and I said, he's only apologized because he got caught and it went. He had a lot of black lash on it, man, and that's what it was.
Fuck Drew Brees, bro. Like I said, fuck that man.
Yeah, man. No, this is crazy. And then what we were going to talk about is what is your take on obviously the peaceful protesting, which is it's a good thing, the rioting, the looting, everything that the world is going through right now. What are your thoughts?
Obviously, as far as like the stealing and looting is concerned, it's wrong. Do I feel like it should be justified? Not necessarily. Do I understand it? 100%, 100% You know why? Because you get tired of being quiet. Like I was just talking about the bullying situation. We've been bullied for how long? We've been treated like shit for how long? It's time for us to stand up. So
Too
fuck it.
long.
If you feel like that, it's like a kid. If you don't have an outlet for your anger, the only other option is destruction. So that's what black folks feel like. This is our only other way to be understood and heard. So fuck it. If we feel like we gotta break shit and burn shit down, fuck it. That's how we feel. But what I also want people to understand is a lot of the breaking shit, like it's not us. It's not us. It's not just us. Like it's not just black folks out there protesting.
White
Like
supremacists, bro.
I've seen multiple videos of white people spray painting "fuck the police" and "Black Lives Matter" and all this other shit. It's not just us. It's not. Don't get me wrong. There's folks out there vandalizing, but don't just put it off on us. We're not the scapegoat for y'all motherfuckers going into Starbucks and stealing coffee and shit and going into Target and taking 70-inch TVs. It's not just us. So don't sit up there and put all the blame on us. Yeah, that's all I got to say about it, man. Get your point across, America. Black folks,
me,
I'm with you.
Peaceful protesting, 100% agree with. We have the right to our freedom of speech, right? The rioting, I understand, and the looting, I understand, because get a big point across of change, sometimes you have to go through the extreme to make sure you're heard, right? Mm-hmm. And I would say, like, I have no problem with people doing that to Targets, Walmarts, Best Buy, the big corporations, because I do think when you have a big corporation, there's always some of those people that are racist in that corporation. And they do have insurance at the end of the day through those big corporations. So they're saying, oh, we're losing all this money. The insurance is going to give you that money back anyways. It's more of those small, mom and pop stores, restaurants, things like that, where they may be living paycheck to paycheck or are in debt and just trying to survive to pay the rent on their business, right? Where they can't get that money back. That's the only thing for the looting that I don't agree with, of hitting small businesses and ruining that. I think it should be more, go and for the corporations, hit those. I don't condone it in aspect of, come on, I understand it, why you need to, because to get your point across, like, because what I thought was, when I woke up this morning, I was like, are you serious, bro? President Trump tweeted, did you see that President Trump tweet this morning? Where he's saying, pay attention to that guy anymore, this fool, like, this got me so mad, bro. Like, this dude, like, George Floyd, rest in peace, right? He was saying about how the economy's doing good, and he said George Floyd would be happy that there's jobs available now. Like, why would you say that to a guy just passed away? Like, what is wrong with you, fool? Like, I cannot stand this dude. Like, and I know most people are in agreement with me with that, but some aren't, which is like, you're the problem. Like, me and my girl, we watched a video where this dude had a big American flag, big truck, lifted, and he was arguing with these people. He's like, black people kill more black people than cops do. It's like, dude, that's not the whole point. Like, that's...
Hold on. Let's get something across, because a lot of people say black on black crime. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
I hate that.
I understand what you're saying. I'm gonna just dispel this right now. Black on black crime does not exist. As far as black people killing other black people, yes, that is a thing. But the term black on black crime is a myth, and it's only put here for disunity and to separate other black people. Because if we're supposed to be Americans, why the fuck is it called black on black crime? You never heard anything about Asian on Asian crime, white on white crime, fucking Ecuadorian on Ecuadorian crime. Those things don't exist. Race. Why is there only black on black crime? For that simple purpose. It's a myth. It doesn't exist. So when people say that, oh, well, if Black Lives Matter is so important, because you sound like a fucking idiot. Yep. It's like saying, oh, well, you ate all the peanut butter and jelly, but what about the peanut butter and jelly? No, shut the fuck up. Just don't. Stop. Please stop saying that. Our president is a pedophile and a rapist, and I'm going to leave it at that. You can do your own research.
100%. And it's just like, obviously my experience is not on the scale of your experience, all 26 years, right? Like both of us, we are dating a different race, right? We,
Who, me? No, my girlfriend's black.
I thought she was white.
Nah, man, I gave up white girls a long time ago. I'm 6 months clean.
Hey, I gave up white girls 4 years ago, so it's okay. No, because my
Oh,
girl's
yeah.
Mexican, right? And like for the last 4 years, it's always been like we get looks from white people, older generation, and the older Latino community too. So we see that. Obviously, that's not on the scale of yours at all, but that's what we see every day, all the time. Especially we walk our little dog or whatever. But it's still there, you know. And
Yeah, imagine getting
the
those looks by
21st
yourself,
century,
though.
huh?
Imagine getting those looks by yourself, though. The same looks you all get together,
Yeah,
and getting
exactly.
those my whole life. I can't go nowhere
Yeah.
without having somebody like, oh, wow, he's big in it. But yeah, that, you know.
But that's why I say I
that's
can't
neither
say
here nor
on
there.
your
Yeah.
level. You know what I'm saying? So it's
I know
just
what you mean.
it's the 21st century, and it's just like, come on, man. Like we all bleed the same color, right? So why can't we come as a nation together? Like, stop this shit. This is annoying, and it's how people were raised, and it's just like, bro, what's wrong with you
Racism is
people?
taught. Racism is taught.
Exactly.
That shit starts
At a
at
young
home,
age.
bro.
Yep.
Exactly. Racism is taught.
That's the problem with this whole thing. And I think once Trump got in the office, they're like, well, we can stop hiding it now. So that's why you see all these things happening now. And
that's the world for you.
It's fucked up, man. It's like, it's not cool at all. But yeah, man. And then let's talk about George Floyd too. Like I said, and shout out to Steven Jackson, man. All the smoke. You know, he was it sounded like, because I watched All the Smoke about it, and he was, actually, he was on ESPN. He was very close to him. He was like, anytime he went to, I think it was Atlanta, that was his boy. And to lose a friend like that, man, I couldn't even imagine. What are your thoughts on that? And Steven Jackson becoming the leader, going out to Minnesota, Minneapolis, and everything with that.
Shout out to Steven Jackson, man. That's a real friend. That's a real deal friend.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the whole George Floyd situation, I mean, unfortunately, his untimely demise is changing the world. You know, hey, they had to be that way. You know, and like I said earlier, condolences out to his family again, because y'all lost somebody that was very important to it, and important to y'all, and to America. You know, and
yeah.
On top of that, I just noticed that every time it feels like an African-American man is about to change his life, or he wants to make a dramatic change in his life, boom, something negative happens.
Yeah.
And to all my black men out there, man, be even sharper, be even smarter. You know, capitalize your P's and Q's. You know, stay extra focused. Make sure you extra out the way. You know, make sure you extra on it. You know, my dad always told me, man, stay ready so you ain't got to get ready.
Nice.
But on top of that, man, I think we should just have a moment of silence.
Yeah.
Just for, all the folks that, been lost to police brutality.
Yeah.
It's your boy D. I'm here with my man Tony, and that's Saturday Morning Traffic. Make sure y'all like, share, comment, subscribe, dislike, hate if you want to hate. I don't know how you can hate on an episode like this, man. We kept it real. We touched on some great topics. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and hit that bell so you get the reminder of all our new videos dropping. And that's it. Saturday Morning Traffic. We out.